Hey everybody, Gage here from Sharp. Super excited to have you with me for another commencement of a new series here that we are going to call Chef's Pick. Super excited about this series. It's one that we've wanted to do for a long time. In this series, if you hadn't already ascertained by the name, we'll be inviting a special guest who is typically going to be a chef in the community local to us, which is the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area. We're going to ask them to choose a knife of a specific shape. And since we just put out our nakiri roundup, we thought it would make total sense to have our guest today pick a new nakiri. He is or she is going to decide whether they want to keep this knife or give it away to their followers. Totally up to them, but they will be leaving here with a brand new knife. So without further ado, guys, today's guest is very special to me. It's one of the first chefs that I ever worked for and with. So it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you
Chef Romain Avril. What's up, guys? I'm so happy to be here, and thanks for Jake and Gage for inviting me to pick nakiri today. I will tell you, first of all, who I am. So I've been here in Toronto for about 11 years. I'm, as you can tell by my accent, I was born and raised in France. I cooked in beautiful establishments, Michelin star, Relais Chateau all across Europe, and I made my beautiful life here for the past 11 years, worked with some amazing people, chefs, one of them being Gage. So I'm super, super happy to be here. He's instructing me to pick one of these beautiful nakiri. And I will tell you what I'm looking for when I shop. First of all, the look. Because I mean, look is important, right? See this? So what do I look for? So the look for sure, but second of all, and most importantly, is the weight. I'm looking for a light knife. That's my second thing. And third of all, it's got to cut nice, because obviously all these knives are super sharp, but I'm a lefty and not every knife works for me. So that's what I'll be looking as my third option. And finally, I'm just gonna look for something that makes me happy. And that's what you should do when you buy a knife. So let's get going. All right, so first look. If I'm looking at the selection right here, I would say we have kind of like three shapes going, right? So we have the one with more of a sharp edge. We have the one that have more of a round, rectangle kind of like shape. And then I would say the third one is a mix of both. Personally, I'm very attracted to the one with a sharp edge. Although you can stab yourself, is what I did with this one. So just be careful. But that being said, I'm going to select, first of all, one of each shape that I think are the most attractive. So if you go with like the pointy sharp edge, we have these two, and although they're both beautiful, I'm gonna go with that one. I kind of like the handle, and we'll see. This one, and this one looks pretty different in terms of the blade. I would say this one, I'm intrigued, but this one, and that one is pretty cool. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think that's a good way to start. So we're gonna move on to the next step, which is the weight. One thing I forgot to mention is the type of blade, because maintenance is very important with your knife. So there is stainless and carbon. But you know what? I'm not a professional, so let me ask the pro. All right, Gage, honestly, maintenance is something that people do not pay enough attention. And if you're going to leave your knife in your bag for a while, you might have some disappointment when you open it. So can you walk me through each blade and what type and what they do?
Totally. So yeah, we've got Romain's short list here of knives, some really awesome picks here. For the most part, as you probably remember from our nakiri roundup, we only have stainless or semi-stainless options in stock, with the exception of one knife that did make it onto your short list. So let's start with that guy. So we've got the Itetsu Nashiji here. This guy's made from Aogami number 2 or blue number 2 carbon steel, but does have a stainless cladding on it. So if you notice kind of close to the edge of the knife, there's that wavy line there. That's where the stainless comes to an end and carbon exposed beyond that point. So this is the only guy that's going to give you like real issues if you don't maintain it properly. We do have two semi-stainless options on your short list here. Those being the Itetsu X-Hammer made from SLD and the Yu Kurosaki Gecko made from HAP 40. This guy's super sweet. Both of these are semi-stainless, so they're not going to give you as much problems as the carbon, but you still have to make sure you're keeping them dry and clean. This guy is also what I would call a semi-stainless. With that black Damascus on there, we find sometimes that they react a little bit more than a fully stainless steel knife. So that being the Rusin Bonten that you've selected here, could require a little bit of extra wipeage as well. aside from that, you're all good. All stainless, so still obviously want to keep them dry and clean, but you don't have to worry too much about them.
And that being said, I mean, people might sound a little bit scared, but like it's not, if you see some rust, it's not the end, right? No. There's ways.
Yeah, not the end of the world. Rust is not bad for the knife unless, of course, you leave it on there for a long time. If you catch it early on enough, you can typically just wipe it right off and it's no big deal. So nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, not going to ruin the knife if you take care of it.
Awesome.
Cool.
So tell me more about the type of steel we're talking about right here.
Yeah, so aside from the ones that I've already listed off here, we've got a knife here from Shigeki Tanaka made from VG10. We have another Rusin Hamono knife here from the Blazon series made from R2 or SG2. We've got this guy here from Masutani-san made from VG1 Gold. And then finally, we have another VG10 knife here made by Takeshi Saji with that beautiful rainbow Damascus. So VG10, a stainless steel made specifically for kitchen cutlery. You'll find varying opinions on it in forums. It's a very common steel type though, so you have a lot of people that are great at making knives working with it, and you have a lot of people who are not so great at making knives working from it. So it can be kind of hit or miss, but from these blacksmiths, you can be assured you're getting a good steel. R2 is my favorite stainless steel because of its hardness, and because of its hardness, its edge retention. Some people argue these can be a little difficult to sharpen, but a pro like you will have no problem.
And if I can do it, I come to you.
Exactly, there you go. So there you have it. I think that's enough information for you to carry on your quest here. So we'll check back in a second.
I think I'm good. All right, the next one that is super important for me is the weight of the knife. And I don't know about you, but I'm on the lighter side. I mean, no weight-wise, but knife-wise. So I'm going to look at them and see which one I feel like is going to work for me or the one that I know are going to be too heavy. And I'm gonna start with this one because it's right in front of me. So right here, all the fun things I do is I'm actually putting it in both my hands because I want to get the weight of the blade and then the handle, right? So this one is actually pretty light, something I think I can work with. So I'm gonna keep it for now. This one right here, which I think is gonna probably end up being one of my favorites, but maybe not. So keep watching. The weight is super light. I think it's a super sexy knife. Actually, it's probably like the perfect weight for me, the nice balance as well, because it's very important to have a balance between the blade and the handle. So this one I'll keep. This one right here is also very light. I like the pattern on it. It's a nice balance, so I'm gonna keep it as well. Let's look at this one because it looks super nice. But it is really heavy. So when I'm holding it, I feel like the blade, it's like kind of like tilting down. Is something I don't like in a knife. Some people do, everybody's different. So unfortunately, as beautiful as it is, I'm gonna have to put it away. This one right here, extremely light. I didn't think it would be, but very, very light. I like it, so I'll keep it. And then the last three, this one feels okay, a little heavy on the top side, so I might just put it aside. This one too feels a little heavy for me. Finally, this one, it feels a little heavy, but the handle is pretty nice, so I'm gonna keep it and we'll see how it goes. So let's remove the one I didn't select and let's start to do some cuttings. All right, now we're gonna move on to the exciting part, which is the chopping, because at the end of the day, that's what a knife is for. So I'm gonna start from here and I'm gonna go all the way there, right? Because that makes sense, I think. So, also something I want to mention, I'm a lefty, and I don't think it's fair that the branding is on that side, because there's only 7% of us, but we do exist, okay? So, all right, I'm gonna chop a cucumber just to start seeing it. So obviously we're gonna be, okay, so it's very nicely balanced. I enjoy that. Straight cuts. Just don't forget to wipe them up. Very nice. I enjoyed this one for sure. We're gonna make lunch later. We're gonna make a tomato and cucumber salad. All right, moving on to the next one. I'm very attracted to this one. I'm like not gonna lie, so far it's the one that visually appeals the most to me. I like the balance of it. But now let's see if it's just, you know, the slicing works, right? So I'm just gonna give it a nice, oh, I like that. Clearly it's sharp. I enjoy it. I really like the balance of it. I mean, like it's just like super sharp edge. I love that. I'm gonna try on the cucumber, so more of like a chopping motion. Yes. So right off the bat, this one is really working for me. I thought I liked this one, but this one seems very balanced. It seems like my motion are synced with it, which is very important. I mean, something I mention a lot to my cooks and stuff, or people that are looking for knife. The knife has to feel like an extension of your hand. At least that's how I see it. So this one is definitely up there. All right, let's move on to the next one. I hope you're still watching, because maybe this one is the one. So this one's super light. I really enjoy it too. I always love Damascus and I always love the pattern. I think it's very cool, but now, is it gonna cut it? Still very comfortable with it. I mean, I know they're all gonna be great, right? So we're looking for excellence at this point and something that really matches what I want, because I know if they are a sharp knife shop, they're good knives. And then we're just gonna try to like slice it. Still super sharp. I like it, but I'm still definitely on the second one. This one's nice, but I feel like something I already have in my set. So I'm gonna put it aside for now and we'll get back to it. All right, for this next one, I really enjoy it. First feel, it feels really nice. Very similar to this one where I feel comfortable with it. I also enjoy this type of blades. I have one as well. So I'm going to see with the chopping. Very smooth, for sure. Like it's pretty nice. Catches nicely, which is something very important with knives. Is sometimes they look great, but when you get to cutting, you feel like you're not really getting the motion or like where you should be placed because of the size of the blade, the angle. Those are very important things, and you won't know until you actually cut it. Like the tomato just had no resistance. Again, super sharp. I like that one for sure. I think to me, so far it's my top two. I enjoy the balance. I also really enjoy this like lighter handle, but that's also a personal choice. So we'll keep this one. Also, before I start talking about this one thing I want to mention as a chef, as a cook, something that you should do is every time you're done chopping something is to wipe your board and wipe your knife. It's very important for the maintenance, also for safety, because you don't want to be, and also for cross-contamination, but you knew that. Anyway, back to the knife. I really like this one. I think it's very special, it's very unique. I just cut myself. Check. All right, so we're back at it, and we have a new addition. It's a bend. That's how sharp it was. I just stabbed myself. Anyway, back to it. This one is really intriguing. I think it's super sexy. I like the way, although it's a little heavier on the handle side, but I'm excited to see how it comes to the chopping. So I'm gonna grab the cucumber. Still super sharp, like very nice for sure. Whoa, I think I snapped a little bit too hard and I'm back here on my studio. Well, to let you know which nakiri I picked, that's the one I went for. I was very hesitating, but to be honest with you, we did some cuts behind the scene and the other one just didn't cut it. So that's the one I picked. I love, why did I pick it? Well, first of all, I love the shape, the design. I love the way it's built, I love its weight, and I love the way it cuts. It feels very comfortable, and at the end of the day, that's what matters in a knife. It should be an extension, as I mentioned before, of your arm, and this one really is. On that note, I just want to thank Sharp Knife Shop in Hamilton for being here with me and supporting me in this video. That was a lot of fun. You should check them out and watch their other videos, and you can also come to my channel, Chef Romain Avril, super easy, where we're gonna learn about how to cook. That's it. Pretty simple, right? On that note, I want you to have a fantastic week and stay sharp.